Welcome back to Are You High Right Now? DJ, are you high right now? Or are you currently getting high right now?
I'm getting high.
Nice. What are you smoking today?
Metronome. It's very unique. It's like cheesy and like
Cheesy. What does that mean?
It's cheesy. Like off the get-go, it's like cheesy and then hints of, I know this sounds weird, but baby shit.
Okay. You're not selling me.
If you're a weed smoker, you know when you get some weed that smells like baby shit, because it's just like, it doesn't matter how many bags you put it in, you're gonna smell the weed. Like it's just some rank, stinky weed, but it's the type of rank that I really enjoy.
Okay.
I know that sounds weird.
When you say cheesy, do you mean like not the taste, but like the like what do you mean by that?
Smell.
It smells like cheese.
Taste. So
like what, like blue cheese?
Smell that.
It does smell cheesy.
What else do you smell? Do you get the hints of baby shit too? Like like baby, like not like toddler where it smells like human shit.
I don't get the smell of baby shit.
But cheesy, and then that sour smell. You get that? How would you describe that?
I don't know. To me, it all kind of smells citrusy, but I know that's not all right.
There's definitely some notes of citrus in there.
That's
for
what
sure.
the sour always reminds me of. I want to turn my notes.
But you got to think, so like sour could be like fuel. It could be like
okay.
sour candy. It could be like sour feet. I mean, I know it sounds weird, but there's weed out there that smells like feet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm not a weed connoisseur. I feel like the same thing with wine. If someone knew, like, ooh, there's hints of this. Like you could tell me it smells like anything, and I would probably believe you. Okay. Do you want to have any like updates about your week? How was your week? Anything?
My week was it was good. We had a very, very busy week. We had one of our partners come into town on Sunday or Monday. So then he's from California, so he was in town till Saturday. We had a lot. We have a new device called the Hue, which is a plant-based vaporizer that we're just released, or is getting released this next Monday.
And that's like the pucks you were talking about last week, right?
Yep, correct. So we take our flower and we press them into these little pucks. Each one's about 0.22 grams. We sell them in tins of 16 pucks, which is equivalent to an eighth of flour. The cool thing about the Hue is it's a vaporizer, so we're not combusting our flour. We're not burning those lipids. We're not burning the chlorophyll. We're not burning the plant matter. We're getting rid of a lot of those carcinogens. All we're doing is heating up the plant material itself up to the perfect temperature to release the cannabinoids and the terpenes, which is the flavor, and the cannabinoids, which actually you get your medical effects from. So the cool thing about this is people that don't, like, if you have asthma, if you have lung issues, any pulmonary issues, if you just don't even want to smoke, like you just don't like the taste of normal smoke or don't like the idea of smoking, vapor is a lot lighter. It's a lot healthier. It's discreet. It's easy. I think the biggest reason why we wanted to release the Hue is just to give another avenue of being able to access your medicine. So
cool.
Yeah,
you like it, and that's like officially out now.
It'll be it's on our wholesale flyer as of this coming Monday, and then it'll be available to the public 2 weeks probably from Monday.
Sweet.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. So you just got back from Sioux Falls.
I did.
Last night, or not just Sioux Falls, really. I guess all over the
South
state,
Dakota.
Other side of the state. Yeah. So you had to go to all these different dispensaries and talk to people and sell and all that jazz.
North Sioux City to Watertown to Brookings to, we had it, obviously we weren't doing that in that chronological order, but we had it mapped out, and it was, we probably did a good 40 hours of driving because we left Thursday evening. We left Thursday evening, drove all the way to Mitchell, had a few stops on the way, and then stayed in Mitchell. And then we did most of our driving on Friday, and that's when we kind of did the surrounding. And then we had a pop-up shop on at 3 to 6. So we basically go to a dispensary, hang out, chat with patients. Just so it's a good time. Especially there's a lot of really, really cool people that own dispensaries and that work at the dispensaries. So that makes the days go by.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other updates?
I mean, we have some cool ass concentrates coming down the line too, but
I mean, updates on your life,
Oh.
not just work.
Golf season.
Yeah. You're going to go golf after this. It's like, what's supposed to be 80 today?
It's supposed to be 80 degrees, little to no wind.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Feels like summer. Yesterday
Yeah.
was so nice too.
What about you? What's new for you? You're getting busy. It's your busy season.
It is starting to get busy. The last couple weeks it's picking up, and I get so excited for it, but I was like looking at next week, and like it's a busy week. I have something like every day, and then lots of editing to do, and then we are going to Florida in a few weeks. So I'll have a shoot there, but that's mostly just like a fun trip, which I'm really excited for.
I keep forgetting about that. We leave in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we have a 420 event coming up too.
Okay, cool.
That's at a campground.
Nice. Yeah, other than that, just busy with work, and it's been good, and it's been nice out, so it's been great. So I just picked the stories for this episode this morning because last episode we kind of talked about doing like Rapid City crime, that kind of stuff, but it just was not really a good week for us both to research.
There's way too much shit going on.
You were busy.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I kind of started to research stuff this morning, and then I kind of like, I feel like it's going to take a little bit extra to research that because like I was telling you, I don't necessarily want it to be like dramatic, sad, like true crime stories because it's local and I don't want to be like insensitive, obviously, to anybody here. So I more was like thinking, which this could be hard to find, but I was more thinking like funny crimes. You know how like
That could still be insensitive.
it totally could, but like I was thinking of like there's always like jokes about like people that get in trouble in Florida for like shit they do because people in Florida are crazy. You know what I mean? So I was more just thinking of like what are funny things like that, but I think it would take a little bit more research because it's not
I think we could
really
find
a big enough town to.
Well, it doesn't just have to be Rapid City.
Oh, I thought that's what you wanted.
Just South Dakota. Like,
okay.
Yeah, just like local South Dakota.
Okay.
It can be some farmer that pushed his wife in a corn bin for all we care.
I know that's just like dark.
Like,
I didn't know.
I know,
I didn't know if we were trying to go funny or if we were trying to go full on true crime.
I mean,
dark.
if you really think about the topics that we've talked about, we've kind of been all over the place.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
And I like that. I don't like that. Like, we're not just talking about one thing, you know? Straight arrow. No,
Right. Like if I could tell someone what the podcast is about, I'm not sure I would be able to tell them.
Life. It's about fucking life.
And our opinions on random shit. But with all that being said, we kind of last minute pivoted and decided to do another round of Am I the Asshole stories.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. And these are always fun. I mean, and I was telling you this morning, like the ones I found, they're not necessarily funny, but they're just like interesting stories that I don't know. It's like fun to like share your take and listen to what your take is. And I don't know what our listeners think. Maybe they totally agree or they don't. I don't know. But that's our theme for today. So I only have like 5 or 6 stories, but they're all a little bit longer and we'll hopefully talk about each of them a little bit longer. So are we ready?
Yeah.
So this first one is from AITAH, the subreddit. It's, am I the asshole for asking for bikini photos of my wife to be taken down? What do you think right off the bat?
And then you're a dick.
You are? Okay, good. My wife, 26 female, and I, 29 male, traveled to my parents' lake house 2 weekends ago to celebrate my dad's, I was about to say 25th. My dad's 75th. Great time, a nice long weekend with everyone at a remote location. When we arrived, my wife realized she had brought the wrong swimsuit. She meant to bring a black, family-friendly bikini, but she had instead brought her much more revealing black one that she has worn on trips with me. So she made the decision that she just wouldn't partake in any water activities as she didn't want anyone, including herself, to be uncomfortable being seen in it. On Saturday morning, I mentioned to the group that she wouldn't be swimming because she had brought the wrong bikini, just as a funny story. They all thought it was nonsense and silly that she would be nervous about being seen in it. The they, including my mom and sister, basically insisted that she feel free to wear it if she wanted. I let my wife know about the conversation and she thought it was funny, but said no, probably not. Later on, we were playing cards, and she essentially got dared to put on the bikini if she lost, as kind of a joke. She agreed, not thinking anything of it. Long story short, she lost, and then put on the bikini and came out to go swimming. Everyone got a kick out of it, giving her joking whistles and woo-hoos when she came out. She smiled, gave a little bow, and hip shake. It was all very cute. She got in the pool and hung out afterward in it for a little while. No big deal. Well, several people posted photos from the trip to Instagram and Facebook, and several of them had my wife in the swimsuit in them. Mostly she was in the background, but there were a couple pose shots with people too. Several people commented about her in replies to the post, so I politely asked them to take them down and got some surprise responses as they pushed back, saying I should be proud, etc. Am I the asshole? I feel like a revealing bikini is kind of a private thing. Ooh, there's a picture of what the bikini looks like.
Let's see this. I want to see.
Okay. That's like a basic bikini.
I mean, oh, that's not her.
No, that's not her.
I was going to say, I mean, well, you're fucking.
Oh, she looks good. No, this is like.
Okay.
Oh, you know what, though? You know what? I kind of take it back because.
Is it the cheeky one?
It's not cheeky? Just cheeky. The title of it is literally, because this is, so he sent a link to the website where she bought this bikini. The bottom says G-string thong bottom.
Okay, let me see the back.
Okay, jeez. I mean, it's fully a thong. It is fully a thong. So Okay. I want your opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you my opinion. For one, like I can understand why she would probably feel a little uncomfortable about wearing that. But two, if she's in the background of some photos and her ass, clearly that's probably what you saw. Or somebody saw, like, who cares? And what were the comments? Like, your wife has a fat ass, or like, what you were like, damn, are you jealous? Good. Are you insecure? Like, just because your wife looks really good and maybe she gets some compliments and that's making you feel insecure, gives you no right to say, take down that photo. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, gosh, now that I saw a picture of the bikini, I'm like kind of changing my tune a little, because at first I thought, oh, she's just in like a basic bikini, but who cares? No,
it's not a children's birthday party.
It's not.
And she let everybody know, like, this. I don't want to make anybody else feel uncomfortable. Like, I didn't want to feel uncomfortable. Exactly. So everybody knew. Somebody dared her, and I want to know who the fuck dared her. Was it his brother that wants to see her in this thong bikini?
What I was gonna say. This is where it almost starts to feel a little like weird.
Somebody wanted to see her in the skimpy suit.
Yes. And then they're like woohooing. She did a little hip shake, like showing her ass. Maybe it was just like the mom and the sister.
Like, I understand wanting to like strutting your stuff, modeling, the whistling and stuff. But like, if my brother asked to see you in a skimpy swimsuit, or say, I dare you to put the skimpy swimsuit, I'd be looking at him like, shut the fuck up. What?
The dare is a little odd.
Yeah.
Also, I would say, so the only part of this swimsuit, the top is like a basic triangle top.
From the front, it looks pretty
basic. It looks like a basic bikini. Sure, a little skimpy, but like not bad. It is like fully a thong in the back. So I understand if there's kids around, like you wouldn't feel comfortable. But I was going to say, if I was in this position, I would wear the bikini and then just wear like shorts over it or something.
Well, everyone was aware of it. That's I don't like.
Yeah.
And nobody cared. And I guess it doesn't matter. Nobody else had a problem with it. It's the husband.
Yes. Right. If the wife feels comfortable in it and she's fine, whatever. Also, she wasn't like posting, even if she was, but she wasn't posting like super scandalous pictures. She was like in the background of other pictures, and he's asking other people to take them down. That's where it's like, buddy.
It's kind of weird.
You can't control. She's already in it. She's swimming. A couple pose pictures. It's not like she's probably posing with her ass out. Like,
might be.
Who cares? Yeah, this is interesting. I definitely don't like the controlling, like, it's a private thing. No one else should see it. I mean,
so where does she wear it?
If she's comfortable. Well, he said she wore it on trips with just him. So I think he just doesn't like it on social media. But my thing is, like, if she is comfortable wearing a thong bikini out in public and she's comfortable with pictures being put out, it's none of your concern. I mean, right?
What if I was wearing a man's G-string and taking pictures and putting it on social media?
I mean, you can do whatever. I wouldn't personally like. I mean, I wouldn't care. I would be like, is this your style? I don't know.
You'd let me do that?
if you wanted to. It'd be a little embarrassing for you, but I don't care.
It wouldn't be embarrassing for you?
Yeah, I would be like, that's my husband. That's him.
I'm just trying to double standard it a little bit.
Have you seen that? Like, the TikTok sound that's like, that's your man. You gonna stand behind that or whatever? She's like, that's him. That's my man. That's how I'd feel if you were wearing that. No, I feel like he seems very controlling in this. Should we read some of the comments though?
Sure.
The first comment, 7.5 thousand upvotes. This is all weird as hell. That's all it says. Next one, absolutely. I can't figure out what's the weirdest though. So this is before he sent a picture of it. So all these people are like, what, how bad is this? And obviously it's really not that bad.
And then he probably got dogged on.
So this one says, I'm not the type to overly comment on a woman's bikini, but I can admit this. If I was hosting a pool party, I would encourage a guest to be comfortable and assure them that my crew is non-judgmental. Something along the lines of, I don't have a position on the bikini, but I want to know that we are chill and respectful over here. Please do what makes you comfortable. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, he seems like the only one who is uncomfortable in this situation. The wife was okay. The family's okay. Yeah.
Who cares?
So, vote on this is asshole. Most people do think he is the asshole for this.
You're an asshole, buddy.
So I don't see any comments from him. Maybe I missed them. But okay, next one. Am I the asshole for getting mad at my husband only wants me to take our daughters to the pediatrician? We have a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old baby, both girls. The baby obviously has to go to the pediatrician more than our 2-year-old for routine checkups. My husband only went to the pediatrician with one time, and that's because they had a C-section and I wasn't ready to drive all the way to the doctor to our baby's 2-week appointment. We both work the same hours. We have the same schedule, in fact. Whenever it's time to make a pediatrician appointment for either of our babies, my husband makes me go. He says he doesn't like going to the pediatrician because it's boring and it's a mother's job to take them to the doctor. He also says there are only mothers at the pediatrician office with their children, and he feels weird being there with his daughter because there's no dad there and it's just a woman and kids environment. This is true. I go to my kid's pediatrician office all the time and I've never seen a dad there before, but that's no excuse for my husband to be a bad example. My husband just complains it's boring and he wants to relax when he comes home from work, and he doesn't want to be in the waiting room for so long and wasting the rest of his day at a kid's doctor's office. Like, same. I want to relax when I come home from work too, but going to the doctor isn't supposed to be exciting or fun, but we have to be parents and take them. He said, cool, you take them. I'm sick of my husband being the fun dad only. He needs to be a parent. He's a very active father in the household, but when it comes to the doctor's appointment and taking our kids to extracurriculars like the Wiggles and Giggles event at the library, he's absent because it's lame and boring and it's just a bunch of moms and kids there. What's your take?
I mean, the whole doctor thing's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can understand not wanting to go to Wiggles, but sometimes you just gotta fight.
You just have to do it. Do you think the mom wants to go do that stuff all the time? Especially with them working the exact same schedule.
No, yeah, it's pretty petty. It sounds like he came from not necessarily toxic, but just a weird upbringing, kind of.
It seems like
more of a traditional.
Traditional. That's what I was gonna say.
Not
where
weird.
the wife does all the stuff with the kids and the dad is not as active a participant.
No,
I'll say I take Jaden to most of his appointments, but that's because my schedule is more flexible and I can take him.
Well, and if I had
during
to,
the day.
I can take whatever. Like if I had to take, or if I need to schedule a day where I need to take him to the doctor, I can. I'll just take a day off.
Yeah. But the excuse of like, oh, it's too boring or there's no guys there. It's like, suck it up. You're a dad. Who cares? No one else is judging if a dad is taking their kid to the doctor.
He's a Mick asshole for sure.
For sure. Let's look at some of the comments on this one. First one, not the asshole. I'm sorry you've married a child. Second one, not the asshole. Oh, hell no. He needs to be responsible for it part of the time because he's also a parent. Dudes who want gender roles need to... This is written so weird, but basically saying... If you want those traditional gender roles, you need to be like
clear,
the main provider and making all the money.
That's fair.
Before you make those demands, because if she's also working, you can't say, "Oh, and you need to do all this."
That's fair.
Yeah. So basically, everyone's in agreement. Not the asshole, but the dad needs to grow up.
Yeah. Needs to open his eyes a little bit.
Yes. Am I the asshole for dating my ex-wife's best friend? Right off the bat, what would you say?
That's pretty. I don't know the context, so I don't
That's
know.
the point. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say you're an asshole.
Okay. My ex-wife divorced me over 2 years ago. She claimed that I was, quote, emotionally abusive and controlling. I don't even think she believed it herself. She just decided that it was easy excuses because she didn't want to take responsibility for her decisions. That has been a common theme in the marriage. Turns out she's been secretly telling her story to gain validation and sympathy from her friends. I actually didn't think she would be this pathetic, but whatever. I met her best friend a few months ago and she basically ignored me. I was like, what the fuck? She has known me for quite a long time. We always had a good relationship and she can't even say hello. So I approached her and asked her what her deal was. She told me things my ex had made up about me, just misinterpreted every damn thing to put me in bad light. We talked for 4 hours that day and I told her my side of the story. Even she realized that my ex is just for lack of a better term, attention whore. We remained in contact with one another, and a few weeks later, we started dating. It's been a blast. She's incredible. My ex got wind of us and lost her mind. She cut off contact with her best friend, the same woman who supported her after her divorce. I'm currently on low contact with her because of the kids. I can't just go completely no contact, but that hasn't stopped her from bothering me and claiming that I also manipulated her best friend. Okay, what's your thought?
Well, we don't know his ex-wife's side of the story, so it's kind of hard to make an educated guess. Mm-hmm. But realistically, if everything's true that he's saying, then I mean, she's a liar and she seemed to make stuff up. But also, there's two sides to every story.
Yeah. Also, there's kids involved, so it's like, do you need to? Well, anyways, do you need to be dating the best friend? Right? Like, maybe she's totally in the wrong and you're a great guy, although I can only assume that, like, there's maybe some truth to some of the things she's saying. Like you said, two sides to every story. And so you talk to this best friend, you talk for 4 hours. Within a few weeks, you're fully dating. Doesn't that seem like a little, like, there's plenty of women in the world. Are you trying to get back at your wife? I don't know. I'd be pissed.
Well, of course.
Not saying you're the asshole, but like,
anybody would be upset.
I would say both are the asshole in this situation.
Both?
Yeah, your wife going around saying shit that's not true. At least that's what we're hearing. And then you for immediately going to date the best friend.
I think if the
you
wife,
don't need to do that.
I think if the wife was going out and lying, I don't think it matters.
It's not that it matters, but it's like, why do you have to date the best friend? If you want to get away from the toxicity, why are you dating that friend group? You're just going to piss the wife off more. It seems
she
like
was
he's
lying, though. So
it seems like he's trying to push buttons.
She was lying. She was lying to all of her friends.
We don't know that.
Well, if
that's what he's saying.
If the story is true,
okay,
she was lying to all of her friends. So why does he have to give her any respect at all? Because she lied about what he truly was doing. So
no, I'm not. I agree.
So then
I'm not saying
that's
that.
not even a friend. If I had a friend that was telling me a bunch of lies about their spouse that made me not like them, and then come to find out my best friend was lying to me the whole time, fuck that person. That was never my friend in the first place, because they're trying to manipulate me into feeling a certain way about somebody.
I get that.
That's manipulation. That is nothing. Yeah, I have no.
Okay. I feel like we're kind of on different sides of this.
That's okay. We don't have to be on the same side.
And the comments, like, this comment fully describes how I feel. This one says, I think you're playing with fire. Honestly, just find another woman. A fresh start, no drama. That's what I think.
It'd be easier to do.
Yes, you can date this woman, but, like, what are you trying to do here? Do you have an ulterior motive? Is it a little bit of a manipulation tactic? Like, why did you have to date the best friend?
Yeah, but
why did you have to date the best friend?
Yeah, but now you're just saying just because she was manipulating him and he wants to manipulate her?
I'm saying it was probably a very toxic relationship.
You're really deflecting her responsibility.
No, I'm saying I bet they were both really toxic, and she's saying stuff and he's completely denying anything. He's not taking any responsibility.
That's fair.
And then he's immediately dating the best friend. So to me, it seems like, what am I trying to say? I don't necessarily believe everything he's saying in this post because he is playing with fire. He's immediately dating the best friend. I think I don't know. I
think it'd be easier, obviously, an easier path to find somebody else. Yeah. And if the circumstances were true, like I said, if they were true, then he owes nothing to his ex-wife.
Yeah.
Because she's a manipulative person, and that those people are the worst. Because all they do is use you until they don't need anything out of you anymore.
Yeah. I don't know.
Huh.
This one's only...
Go fuck yourself.
This one's only 3 hours old. But I just...
This one?
Okay.
That we're talking about right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I'd be curious
Fresh.
what other people's perspectives on this are. And I would love to hear her side of the story. That's what I would love.
Comment on there, say that we just talked.
No.
Why?
There's only like 9 comments.
So? Because that means that they're going to see it and maybe follow up.
No. I don't want to.
Message the sender.
And say what? We don't agree with the OP.
What's your ex's wife's name? I want to talk to her.
We're just, we are talking shit about you on the podcast. Would you mind listening? Okay. Ooh, this one. I didn't even finish reading, but I was mad for this guy. It says, am I the asshole for not paying the restaurant bill at a family event despite being the wealthiest, even after my aunt insulted me? During a recent family gathering at a restaurant, I found myself grappling with the decision of whether or not to pay the bill. As the most financially stable member of the family, there was an expectation that I would foot the bill for everyone. However, I hesitated for several reasons. While I'm more affluent than any other family member, I don't believe it's fair or reasonable to always be expected to cover all expenses without prior discussion or agreement. Additionally, I value fairness and equality and didn't want to create a dynamic where I was always seen as the family's ATM. Despite these concerns, some family members were surprised and disappointed when I declined to pay the bill. They argued that as the wealthiest member, it was my responsibility to treat everyone. However, I stood my ground, believing that everyone should contribute their fair share. To complicate matters further, during the meal, my aunt made a snide comment about my financial status, insinuating that I was selfish and stingy with my money. Her words stung, but I chose to ignore her remarks rather than escalate the situation. After the meal, when it came time to settle the bill, I suggested that we split it evenly among everyone, which I believed was a fair and reasonable solution. However, some family members, including my aunt, became hostile and accused me of being cheap and insensitive. After that, I stood up, paid my bill, and left. My family had to pay on their own. So Reddit, am I the asshole for not paying the restaurant bill at a family event, even though I'm the wealthiest?
No.
Edit, my family is now bombarding me with messages saying I was unreasonable. They also say I have to pay every penny back to them, but I didn't answer them and they can rot for all I care.
Suck my dick.
Yeah.
Every last one of my family members.
Your family is using you. That's so... I cannot stand.
Insensitive because you won't spend your money that you were smart about earning. Clearly, everyone else in your family are fucking idiots with cash. And
oh, shit. I got to hold on. Pause that thought for 1 second, okay?
Just expect somebody to pay for your dinner just because they're well off. Like, that's insane. Like, that is so entitled. And I want to know what happened to this family to where they're just feel like they're so entitled.
That's exactly how I feel. Like, you do not owe anybody anything. Nobody owes you anything. Just because someone has more money doesn't mean.
And if I buy you fucking dinner, that's me just being nice.
Yes.
Don't fucking expect
Never
that.
expect it and be grateful for it. And then on top of that, to be like, oh, you're cheap, whatever. You still expect me to pay for your meal if you're going to call me cheap?
Well, and that goes down to like, when you go above and beyond for somebody, whether that's a family member or even your employer, or you go above and beyond for somebody, and it's not, none of that's expected of you. But when you keep doing it, then it does become expected. And they tend to forget that this wasn't this. I didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
I went out of my way to either help you in the situation or get this done or sacrifice myself for you at some point. And for you to just expect that from now on is ridiculous.
I would
Absolutely
never.
Ridiculous.
I wouldn't want to be in a position to go out to eat with them or do anything.
No, I would
with
never.
them.
I wouldn't do anything
That's
ever.
Insulting. That whole thing that pisses me off so much. And honestly, people that are just cheap in general. Why would you ever expect someone else to pay your way? If you can't afford dinner. Even if someone
going to fucking dinner.
No, even if someone you think might end up paying for you, a family member, whatever, if you can't afford it, don't go.
Well, that's
because
the thing.
expect that you're going to pay for it by yourself.
Well, and if a friend reaches out to me and is like, "Hey, dude, let's go out to dinner tonight," and we're in a situation where, hey, I can't.
We're saving money.
Yeah, I can't go tonight. I'll tell them like, "Hey, man, I can't afford dinner tonight. You know, we'll catch you next week on payday or something." And 9 times out of 10, my friends would be like, "Just, I'm coming to get you." Yeah, exactly. I'll get you. You always, or you get me, or I've got you before, or whatever the case may be. But at least let that person know, like, "Hey, I'm broke as a joke right now, man. So if dinner's not really in my..."
Yeah.
And then let them, if they want to offer to pay for you, that's great. But if they don't, then...
Well, and in this situation, it's like, does your family... If I was him, I would feel like my family doesn't even want to hang out with me. They only have me around so that I can pay the bill.
And if I don't, I'm a selfish... and what is that? Selfish... what'd she call him? What does Aunt call him?
Oh, selfish and stingy with my money. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm going to pay for the whole friggin' family. I'm stingy. Do you know who JoJo Siwa is? So she's like the girl from Dance Moms years ago that had like a big old bow. She was on the military show. Yeah. So she's getting a lot of heat right now for just random shit.
What'd she do? I thought she was doing good.
She's just annoying.
Oh, I thought that show like helped her.
It did a little, and I think she bounced right back. And like, I don't know.
She got an even bigger ego than before.
Yeah. She's kind of easy to just dislike, unfortunately. I think she has some redeeming qualities, but she can be kind of frustrating, and she's a young kid.
She doesn't know who she is.
But what I was going to say is that she was just on a podcast, Call Her Daddy, I think, where she
Call Her Daddy?
Yeah.
That's her podcast?
No, she was on a podcast called Call Her Daddy. Oh. Have you not heard of that?
No.
Okay, that's a big one. Anyways, they were talking about basically like her money situation and stuff. So I think she's like 20 now, and she started out on this show when she was like 9 or something. Dance Moms.
Yeah.
So anyways, she basically had said that like she has footed the bill for her whole family for years. Like she's the only one making money. And when you're like a young person in entertainment, you have to like legally have an account. I think it's called like a Coogan account or something, where a certain percentage goes away so that your parents basically can't take all of your money and stuff. So when you turn 18, you get that account. Well, I guess her mom was like, and she was very grateful for her family. She didn't say anything bad about them, but her mom was saying like how scared she was that when she turned 18, she was going to take that whole account. And she said, no, we'll split it 50-50. So she ended up, the small percentage of money that was supposed to be just for her, she split 50-50 because her parents kind of guilted her. They're like, well, you would help someone on the street. Why won't you help your own family? So she bought their house. She pays their entire way. And she did not at all seem like mad about that. But when I listened to it, I'm like, okay, so they're kind of taking advantage of you. They're like, I get it. Maybe they picked up their life for you to do this, but you're still a kid. You should not have to support your entire family. If you choose to help them, great. As a parent, don't rely on your 20-year-old to...
Don't rely on your kids until you have to.
Let them be a kid. Why would you put that pressure on a kid?
Not only let them be a kid, let them be a fucking adult.
Yeah. Let them make their own decisions. If they want to throw some money at you every now and then to help, or great. But like, that, I don't like that dynamic of expecting a family member to pay for you because they make more money than you in whatever situation that is.
I've had a friend that has supported their family as long as I can remember. I mean, from the point that we were 16 years old. I mean, he was the one working. He was the one paying bills. He was the one taking care of his brothers. I mean, it's pretty wild. And then just over the years, you like give him a car, and then he'll give him another car, and then it's just wild. But when you grow up that way, though, I guess you don't really know anything.
Yeah, and you want to help you don't want to see your family struggle or anything.
No, not at all. But when do you draw the line, though?
I know. Would I be the asshole if I force my daughter to let her siblings come to her birthday party? Sorry, I got to bring this a little bit closer. I'll try to keep this as short as possible. I'm 38. I'm a 38 male. My daughter, Lynn, is 11, turning 12 this week. My fiance's kids are 7 and 9. My ex-wife and I got divorced when Lynn was 6. She did not have a very close/warm relationship with Lynn, and this was partly why we split up, although I would never tell Lynn this. My ex moved several states away, so she only speaks to Lynn on the phone. She's visited a few times. She didn't want any custody, and I was happy to have it. Obviously, she has a lot of sadness that she doesn't have the loving mother that other kids have, but we have been okay together. We're very close, and she got used to the new state of things. Then I met my fiance a year and a half ago. We got engaged pretty quickly, and we moved in with her 3 months ago. She's awesome and really cares about Lynn. It's been a lot of change for Lynn, and she hasn't taken it too well. The reason we moved in with them instead of the other way around is because she is much more well off and her house has enough space for all of us. As a result, she's been very cold and unkind to my fiance's kids, and I do understand her feelings, but I've been trying to push her to not take that out on those kids. They have been nothing but kind to Lynn, and they were initially super happy to have a new sister. This week is Lynn's 12th birthday, and she's having a party with 2 friends and a bunch of cousins. The cousins are varying ages, so it's not that my fiance's kids will be much younger than the other invitees. My daughter said she doesn't want them there and they have to get out of the house so she can have this one day for herself. I told her that was really unfair as it's their house too, and they've been excited for her birthday. She says she doesn't want the party unless I make her step siblings leave. She's okay with my fiance being there. I suspect she'd be unhappy if my fiance was not there. Edit. Forgot to add this. My fiance's daughter, the 9-year-old, gave up her bedroom for my daughter. My fiance's 2 kids now share a bedroom. They probably already feel like they have given up their space for someone who isn't even nice to them, and telling them they have to leave their own house during a party probably will feel even worse. So is he the asshole for trying to force? She's not getting a party. Yeah.
She's not getting a party.
So
that would be the end of it. Like, all right, fine, whatever. Your birthday's not getting celebrated then.
I think
selfish little bitch.
Okay. She's 12.
I don't care.
I think there's some other things at play here. I definitely feel bad for the stepkids because yeah, there's clearly some stuff being taken out on them. They now have to share a room. They gave up their space. They might build some resentment later on to have a stepsister like that. I also think there's some unresolved issues with this 12-year-old, and she might need to get some like therapy or some like professional help because clearly like she did not have a very loving mother. And for some reason, she's taking something out on these on them 2
because
young
they have a mom.
Kids. Yes.
Because they have a mother.
Yes.
That is exactly why she's taking it out on them. She says, in the story, he said she would be upset if the stepmom didn't come to the birthday party.
But the other kids have to leave.
So she's upset because they have a mom.
Yeah. Yeah. But I also think, gosh, I don't know. Like, I don't really think he's the asshole, though, because... Okay, take it from like a normal sibling. Okay, let's say my brother, he's 3 years older than me, had a birthday party. He would not expect me like years ago when we're younger. Would I be expected to have to leave the house? No. I would probably be part of the party because I'm a sibling, right? So like there's part of that where it's like, it's not, you have multiple friends, you have cousins, whatever. I don't think it's a huge deal to have 2 more. I think because she's so adamant that they shouldn't be there, there's some other things at play here, and
you're gonna fuck your relationship. You're gonna fuck up your relationship with your fiance if you ask that question.
But that's a tricky situation because it's also hard to say like, nope, it's your birthday, but you're forced to have these other girls there that you don't want.
That you don't want? They're your fucking siblings.
I know.
That doesn't count.
Whether
you like them or not, they're gonna.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's some stuff that needs to be squashed before. Like, you can't just force her. Like, that's not gonna fix the issue. Forcing them to be at the party. There's other stuff that like they need to talk about. But
she wouldn't be getting a party if it was my daughter.
Yeah. I don't like that kind of spoiledness. But the very first comment, I think your daughter needs professional help. And I think you should have waited on the moving in together part, because why would you move your daughter in when she doesn't get along with your fiance's kids? Back to the professional help part, though. It seems that she's okay with your fiance, but not her kids, which is probably due to her mom abandoning her, and she sees your fiance as her replacement mom. Fiance's kids probably makes her jealous or something, because that is, in fact, their mom and not hers in her mind. I'm just stating my observation. I'm not entirely sure if it's true, though. So I just think she really needs to seek out a counselor or a therapist.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, and that's another thing, too. I think a lot of that is on him, because they recently, I mean, he only met her a year and a half ago.
Let's be honest.
And they're already living together and like getting married, which maybe is not that long, but if you have kids in the picture, you need to make some decisions based on them, not just yourself.
For sure. I would say, all in all, the little girl's mom needs her ass whooped.
Oh, the original mom? Yeah, for sure. What a shitty parent.
Yeah, she needs to get her ass whooped. And maybe we'll give her the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe she has mental illness and she didn't want, I don't know.
She probably does, but that doesn't change the fact that like that's a domino effect, and now you're putting that on your daughter too. Mm-hmm. People have to think about that shit before they have kids. Mm-hmm. I have like no sympathy for people who are bad parents.
Shout out my dad.
Yeah. Hope he listens.
He probably is.
But be there for your freaking kids. Like the thought of like not being there for Jaden, not caring, I cannot fathom a world in which I wouldn't care.
Not seeing him for years?
Yes.
Not talking to him for years?
To not like love and do anything for your own flesh and blood
is fucking pathetic.
It is pathetic. And there's like no excuse for it. No. So, and I feel bad that this little girl is a preteen at this age where like this is a hard situation for her. This preteen
needs to be checked.
She does need to be checked, but she also needs like...
You're right, professional help.
She needs some professional help, and she needs like some gentleness too, because she's got some shit going on that isn't her fault. Like that's a sucky situation to be
You're in. Right, but this little girl needs to I mean, this is the time to get it checked, or if this girl's going to turn into a...
And I wouldn't want this girl to like hate her her stepsisters, because they're young enough that like they could have a good relationship with her. She could, you know what I mean?
I didn't like my stepsisters.
They're not your stepsisters. They're your real sister, or your half sisters.
I mean,
but step is not the same. No, step is not the same.
They're half blood. They're half blood.
Yeah. And yeah, okay. So you didn't like them immediately when they were born because the tension was off you. And honestly, that's you being a little asshole 12-year-old too.
I wasn't 12. I was like
13.
Yeah, I was like 14.
No, you were not 14.
When Abby was born?
When Abby was born, when Sophie was born, we were 12.
Yeah, something right there.
You probably needed your ass checked as well.
No.
A little spoiled little brat.
No, I wasn't spoiled.
Well, you were spoiled with time. You didn't want that time taken away, right?
I didn't spend much time with my family.
So why did you hate them?
Just because...
You did at 12. Shut up. You were not off on the streets doing your own thing at 12.
Out biking and stuff like that, you know?
You're just by yourself.
Not by myself, my friends. I was always hanging out with my friends. I always wanted to be out. I always wanted to be hanging out with my friends. That's what I was always doing.
So why'd you care if you had a sister back at home that you were never home?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
It's a jealousy.
Probably.
Yeah, it's the same situation.
Yeah, but I like them.
That's why people should not be only children. I'm sorry to say it.
I like them a little better now.
Yes, you do. You love them. But yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
So basically, honestly, the consensus, though, is that he is the asshole, but because he made a decision based off of like his relationship, not the well-being of his child.
So he did ask then?
Did ask what?
For the kids not to be there? Because I thought he was asking, would I be the asshole if...
No, he's telling his daughter, no, they're going to be there. I'm forcing you to have them there. The yeah, he's not maybe the asshole for that, but he is the asshole for like, she's put in a situation where it has a weird dynamic with her step siblings. So it's her birthday. She doesn't like them for whatever reason, not their fault. And now he's forcing them on his daughter. I do think he's a little bit of an asshole.
I do things every day you don't want to do and don't like.
Yeah, but she's also like a kid who she didn't get to make the decisions of moving in with this whole other family when she was abandoned by her mom.
It's not her decision to make.
Obviously it's not, but he didn't really think about her well-being when he made that decision, did he?
That's fair, but it's not her decision to make.
Yeah, well, that's going to turn into resentment, though.
Mm-hmm. I guess.
It's a sticky situation.
It is a sticky one, but to me, it's just so hard for me to, like, I was a shithead kid. And
And you think someone should have been harder on you? Or what?
I think, in a way, if I would have just kept getting what I wanted, I wouldn't have I don't think I would have turned out the person I am today, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if I just keep, like, I don't want them there, oh, then what's that going to turn into next time? Like,
Yeah. But okay, here's what I would say. I don't think the answer would be, oh no, we'll kick him out, no problem. And we never address that situation. I would say, okay, there's something else going on here. Let's let them go have like a friend date with someone else. Let's go send them to do something fun for this day. We're not going to put that on her birthday, but this is like, oh, boom, there's a red flag. We need to do something
that's
about
fair.
this.
Then
We need to
you can
tackle
figure
it.
it out.
We need to talk about why you didn't want them there, and let's get you in counseling. You can't just not do anything about it and be like, oh, you're right. I'll give you anything you want.
No, I agree with that.
Right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was fun. I know those weren't exactly like funny, but they're kind of fun to talk about,
Those
I
good
guess.
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what next week will be about. We'll figure that when we get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. You're going to go golfing. I'm going to go have some margaritas with friends.
Nice.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.